How are you doing today? How are you doing today? How has been trading? If you all can hear me loud and clear, confirm if you can hear me loud and clear. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Champions, profitable traders, how are you doing today? Hope your week has been great. I can see Mr. Joseph, I can see Mr. Raphael, I can see Victory. Good morning, good morning. I greet you all. I greet you all. How has been trading? Hope it's been profitable. Let me know in the comment section what pair you plan trading today. Let me know in the comment section. What pair are you looking at today? Let me know in the comment section. What pair are you looking at? What is your bias on that pair? Let me know in the comment section. What pair are you looking at today? Gold. Mr. Joseph said gold. What is your bias on gold, Mr. Joseph? What is your bias on gold? Victory, GU, and GJ. I'd like to know your bias on those instruments. What is your bias, Mr. Joseph, on gold? What is your bias on GU and GJ? Victory. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. I'm waiting for you guys. So today is 25th of March. There are no major news today. We are not expecting any major news today. So there is a high probability our technical setup will play out since there are no major news today. Bearish buyers on gold. Okay. Bearish buyers on gold. Victory, what is your bias on GU and GJ? Let's look at gold. Mr. Joseph said his bias for gold is bearish. So let's start with the daily time frame. How did yesterday candle close? Okay, so you can see yesterday candle closed as this is a spinning bottom. I want you to see this, Mr. Joseph. I hope you see this on the chart. Yesterday candle closed as a spinning bottom. It closed as a spinning bottom, and you can see on the daily time frame we had a fair value gap. Can you see this fair value gap, Mr. Joseph? So this bearish move could just be to fill this fair value gap. You can see this fair value gap here. It has been filled. Okay, it has been filled. Okay, so let's go down to 4 hour. What do we have on 4 hour after the formation of this pattern? Let's see that on 4 hour. So you can see the pattern we have on 4 hour. Based on what we have on daily and 4 hour, I think gold is still. Can you see this? Can you see this? If you come back here also, we had a support here, sorry, a resistance, which became a support. So we had a demand zone and price tested that demand zone, and there was a strong rejection from that zone. And you can see the pattern. I think this was the last candle for yesterday market. Yeah, this was the last candle for yesterday market, and it closed as a spinning bottom. So at the moment, gold is bullish. At the moment, gold is bullish. If you are considering selling gold, you would have to wait for price to break out from this zone, from this demand zone. I think that would be the right time to sell gold or wait for a bearish reversal pattern to form. Okay, if you want to sell gold, you either wait for price to break this demand zone or wait for a bearish reversal pattern to form. on a 4-hour time frame before you sell. That is my take on gold. But at the moment, gold is still bullish. Gold is still bullish. Let's see what we have on 1-hour time frame. Okay. So you can see on 1-hour time frame, you can see what we have here. We had a fair value gap here. Can you see this fair value gap? We had a fair value gap here. We had a fair value gap here. Price pulled back to fill that fair value gap, and there was a strong rejection from that fair value gap. Can you see that? And also, we had a fair value gap here. The fair value gap was created after this engulfing pattern. And what happened? Price pulled back, filled that fair value gap, and there's a strong rejection from that fair value gap. You can see it on 15 minutes time frame. Can you see the fair value gap? Price pulled back to fill this fair value gap, and there's a strong rejection from that gap. So you can see. So my bias on gold is still bullish. It is still bullish. Okay. My bias for gold today is bullish. It is bullish. But you might want to wait. If you want to buy gold, you might want to wait for price to pull back. Okay, wait for price to pull back to fill this fair value gap. This is the most recent fair value gap that was created. You might wait for price to fill this fair value gap before you buy gold. That's my take on gold. Is that clear, Mr. Joseph? If you still insist on selling gold, wait for a bearish reversal pattern to form on 4-hour time frame. Okay, wait for a bearish reversal pattern to form on gold before you sell. Okay, that's my take on gold. You can't be too busy. If you want to trade, if you have plan to trade today, you must create time to do post analysis. It's very important. You can't be too busy, okay, for you to do post analysis. You need to create time for that. Post analysis shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes, 1 hour. Post analysis shouldn't take you more than that. Okay, so let's look at GU. Let's look at GU, okay. Okay, so let's start with the daily. Yesterday candle closed as an inverted hammer, as you can see. And I think that inverted hammer formed, can you see that? So based on how yesterday candle closed, I'm considering going bullish on GU. I'm considering going bullish on GU. And if I'm buying GU, my stop loss will be below this demand zone. My stop loss will be below this demand, okay, or you call it your support zone. This is where I'm going to set my stop loss, okay. Based on how yesterday candle closed, it closed as an inverted hammer and it closed as a support level. Now let's go down to 4-hour. What do we have on 4-hour after the close of yesterday market? This was the last candle on 4-hour time frame, right? This was the last candle on 4-hour time frame. So this is what we had on 4-hour time frame. Then after the formation of this candle on 4-hour time frame, what pattern do we have on 1 hour? Let's see. So this was what we had on 1 hour time frame. This was what we had on 1 hour time frame. And as you can see, this bullish candle closed above the high of this candle. This is the reason for my bullish bias. You can see this candle, it closed above the high of this bearish candle. Can you see that? Okay. Let me show you something here also on this is 1 hour time frame. Okay, so let's go to 15 minutes. It's likely a fair value gap was created at this point, and that's the reason for this pullback to fill that fair value gap. Let's just confirm that on 15 minutes time frame. Let's just confirm. Let's see on 15 minutes time frame. Let's see. Okay, it's 15 minutes time frame. Okay. Let's see 5 minutes. Okay. On 5 minutes, we had a fair value gap here on 5 minutes. Yeah, this is the fair value gap on 5 minutes. Okay, let's see. That could be the reason for the pullback. Let's see. Okay. So you can see that fair value gap on 5 minutes could be the reason for the pullback. Can you see that? Can you see that? That could be the reason for the pullback. So I'm considering buying GBP USD above the high of this candle. You can see what played out this morning when price tested the high of this candle. Can you see what played out? This high, the high of this candle, and this resistance that was created here, you can see when price tested this zone, it's been rejected. There's been a lot of rejection at this zone. Can you see that? Can you see that? There's been a lot of rejection at this zone. So I'm waiting for 1 hour candle to close above this zone for me to buy. As you can see now, GU is still in a range. It has been in a range since the market opened, right? It has been in a range since I think 10 p.m. Nigerian time. It has been in a ranging phase. You can see it's been ranging. So for you to buy, you need to wait for price to break above the high of the range, or wait for price to close below. If you are considering selling, then you have to wait for a breakout from this sell zone. If you are considering buying, you have to wait for price to break out from this supply zone. Are you getting me? If you're considering selling, wait for price to break out from this zone. If you are considering buying, wait for price to break out from this zone. And if you are buying above this zone, your stop loss will be at this demand zone. Okay, your stop loss will be at this demand zone. You could set it maybe 5 or 10 pips below this demand zone. And if you are selling below this demand zone, your stop loss should be few pips above the high of these candles, above the high of this range. Okay, so I'm waiting for 1 hour candle to close above this zone before executing a buy trade. Okay, my bias for GBP USD today, I'm looking for a buy. I'm looking for a buy. Okay, we'll look at New Zealand JPY, Mr. Raphael. Be patient. Okay, so that's my take on GU. Okay, my bias is GU based on how last night or yesterday candle closed. It was an inverted hammer, and that inverted hammer formed at a demand zone. It formed at a support zone. That is the reason I'm considering going bullish on GU. I hope that is clear. So let's look at GJ. GJ broke out from this key resistance zone yesterday. It was strongly bullish. It was strongly bullish. So based on this pattern, my bias on GJ remains bullish. My bias on GJ remains bullish. There is a high probability GJ would come fill this fair value gap this week. GJ is likely going to fill this fair value gap this week. Okay, so there was a breakout from this resistance level, and this resistance level has become a support. That's a supply level turn demand. Okay, it's a supply level turn demand. So probably price just want to retest this broken resistance. That's what I think is playing out in the market now. Price wants to retest this broken resistance turn support before going bullish. That's my take on GJ. GJ is bullish. Let's see what we have on 4-hour time frame. On 4-hour, as you can see, the previous candle, you can see the 4-hour candle, the previous 4-hour candle closed as an hammer. It closed as an hammer. Okay, it closed as an hammer. And if you go down to 1 hour, it's most likely a fair value gap was created at this point. Let's confirm on 1 hour time frame. So you can see on 1 hour time frame, we had a fair value gap here. Can you see this fair value gap? that was created. Now let's go down to 15 minutes. I'm sure there's a fair value gap below this fair value gap on 1 hour time frame, and that is the reason price broke out from the 1 hour fair value gap. Let's just check 15 minutes. Let's check 15 minutes. So on 15 minutes, we had a fair value gap here on 15 minutes time frame. Okay, you can see. Let's check 5 minutes. I just want to know why price broke out from the fair value gap on 1 hour and 15 minutes time frame. Let's see. So you can see on 5 minutes, we had a fair value gap here. Can you see that? So price has filled that fair value gap. You can see it has filled that fair value gap. And it's been ranging. That fair value gap has been tested several times, as you can see. So if the market, you could say, okay, since we have high here, this is the high of the range, this is the low of the range, and since my bias is bullish, I'll wait for 1 hour candle to close above this high before I take a buy trade. I would wait for 1 hour candle to close above this high before I take a buy trade. And for those of you considering selling, if you're considering selling, then you have to wait for price to break below low of this range. Okay, you have to wait for 1 hour candle to close below this range for you to sell. I hope that is clear. If your bias is bullish, okay, if your bias is bullish, wait for 1 hour to close above this high before you buy. Wait for price to break below the low of this range before you sell. And if you are selling, your stop loss should be few pips above the high of this range. You could set it 10 pips above the high of this range. Okay, and if you are selling, if you are buying, your stop loss should be few pips below the low of this range. That is my take on JPY. Okay, that's my take on JPY. Okay, so someone said we should look at New Zealand JPY. Mr. Raphael, Mr. Naya, good morning. Good morning. New Zealand JPY. This network is beginning to misbehave. It's beginning to misbehave. Can you guys hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly? It's the network. I think it's better now. I think it's better now. Can you all hear me? How is it now? Is it better now? Is it better now? Please let me know. So let's start with the daily. Let's start with the daily. So yesterday, you can see yesterday candle closed bullish. This is a buy setup on. You can see we had a spinning bottom, and you can see we had a spinning bottom, and that spinning bottom formed after price tested this resistance, right? After price tested this resistance turn support, you can see the spinning top formed, and yesterday candle closed bullish. We had an engulfing pattern after the close of yesterday candle. So this is a buy setup. This is a buy. Okay, this is a buy. This is a buy setup. So let's see what we have on 4 hour. So on 4 hour, what do we have here? Okay, let's go down to 1 hour. Okay, so you can see on 1 hour, we had a fair value gap here. So the pullback would just be to fill this fair value gap. Price just fill this fair value gap. Can you see it? Price just fill this fair value gap. So it's likely going to pull back from this fair value gap. That's my take. Okay, based on the daily and 4 hour time frame, my bias is bullish. But before I will take a buy on NZD JPY, I want to wait for price to close above the high of this bearish candle. I want to wait for 1 hour candle to close, okay, above the high of this candle before taking a buy trade. Okay, that's my take on NZDJPY. That's my take. My bias on NZDJPY is bullish. It's bullish, but I want to ensure price closes above the high of this candle before I buy. Is that clear, Mr. Raphael? Mr. Raphael, is that clear? Which other instrument do you want us to look at? Let me know in the comment section. Which other instruments do you want us to look at? Okay, we've looked at gold. Let's look at Euro Australian dollar. Euro Australian dollar, like I told you guys, is bearish for the week, and it's still bearish. Okay, Euro Australian dollar is bearish for the week. Euro Australian dollar is coming for the liquidity residing at this relative equal low. Okay, this is where it's coming to. That's its next target. That's its next target. Okay, this relative equal low. That is where Euro Aussie is aiming for. That's where it's aiming for. That's where it's aiming for. Okay, this relative equal low and also this fair value gap. The fair value gap residing below that's relative equal low. That's its next target. That's about 100 pips. 100 pips. 100 pips. So that's my take on Euro Australian dollar. Euro Australian dollar is still bearish. Is there any other instrument you want to look at? Let me know in the comment section. My high is on, wow, G is flying. But the rule is I have to wait for 1 hour candle to close. Okay, I have to wait for 1 hour candle to close above. Okay, so by 11, hopefully 1 hour candle is above this candle. That will be a buy. Okay. Aiming for at least 50 pips profit minimum. 50 pips profit minimum. Okay, so that's my take on EU. My high is on GU and EU. My highs are on EU and GU. Can you all still hear me? Can you all still hear me? Sorry for that break. It's due to network. Okay. GJ will be flying now. Okay. GJ also is going to join that trend. Okay. So let's look at Australian dollar USD. Should be bullish also. Australian dollar USD is bullish also. You can see if 1 hour candle closes above this resistance, you can see it has been in a range some time. You can see price pulled back. You can see it has been in a range for some time. So if AU closes above this level, if 1 hour closes above the high of this candle, that will be the right time to buy Australian dollar USD. And if I'm buying Australian dollar USD, my stop loss will be about 30 pips, and my TP will be 50 pips. 50 pips. I hope that is clear. So by 11, the decision will be made by 11 a.m. The decision will be made by 11 a.m. So if you want to join me taking this trade, if 1 hour candle closes above this level, you could buy AU. Like I said, you don't have to trade all. Okay, you can pick just one, either GU, AU, or EU. All these pairs are positively correlated. They are positively correlated, so you don't have to trade everything. Just pick one. Okay. Just pick one. Trade all, then you should apply proper risk and money management. So let's say the risk you want to take, your maximum drawdown for the day, let's say it's $10. Let's say that's what you're willing to risk. Okay, you can decide to risk the $10 on just one pair, okay, or you risk it on 3 pairs. It means if you're risking it on 3 pairs, you would have to apply that is on $33. That's the risk you will take. $33 on each pair. If you want to trade the 3 pairs, you risk $33 on the 3 pairs. Okay, so it means you will apply, since the risk is 30 pips, the lot size you will apply will be 0.01. 0.01. I believe you all know how to get your lot size. Okay, I believe you all know how to get your lot size. Okay, to get your lot size, the formula to get your lot size is capital risk. Okay, to get your lot size is the formula I use is capital risk. Capital risk and, is the formula I use. Capital risk divided market risk. Capital risk is $10, and the market risk is 30 pips. So times 0.1, okay, times 0.1 equals 10 divided 30, that should be 0.3. Network 0.10 divided 30. Okay, I have to repeat what I said. Okay, I have to repeat what I said. The network is cracking. Let's just manage it. So capital risk divided market risk divided 0.1. So our capital risk is $10. The market risk is 30 pips multiplied 0.1. So 10 divided 30, I'm right. That should be 0.3 times 0.1 gives you, I'm correct, 0.03. Okay. So if you want to apply, if you just if you be trading just one pair, the lot size will be 0.03. If you're trading several pairs, if you're trading 3 pairs, to apply 0.01 on each of the pairs. How is it now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Is everything okay now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Is everything okay now? Can you hear me? Please, I want to see your comments. Is everything okay? Can you hear me? Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Is everything okay now? Let me know in the comment section. Hear me? You can see my screen. Let me know in the comment section. Okay, is there any other instrument you want us to look at in the comment section? Is there any other instrument you want us to look at? Let me know in the comment section. Is there any instrument you want us to look at? Any question? Do you have any question? I believe it's better now. I believe the sound is better now. It's still cracking. Okay. Is there any other instrument you want us to look at? Any other instrument you want us to look at? Okay, let's look at USD CHF and USD card. Let's see USD card. USD card, and bias on USD card is bearish. And bias on USD card is bearish. All right, thank you. Thank you, okay. And bias on USD card is still bearish. Okay, still bearish. The doji candlestick formed, that was on Friday or Thursday. I think this was Thursday, Friday, yeah. Thursday candle closed as doji, and the next candlestick closed bullish, and the candle closed bearish. It closed bearish. Our candle closed below the low of that doji. Okay, 4 hour also didn't close below the low of that doji, right? 4 hour didn't close below the low of that doji, but as you can see, we had an engulfing pattern here on 4 hour time frame. After the formation of that doji, we had an engulfing pattern here on 4 hour time frame. Okay, there was a pullback. I think it was on Friday. There was a pullback here. Okay, so you can see price has been in a range from this point to this point. You can see USD card has been in a range. This is the low of the range, and this is the high of the range. Okay, so my bias is bearish. So all I'm looking out for is breakout from this support. Okay, that's what I'm looking out for. Breakout from this support. As you can see here, we had a spinning top, and if the next candle closes bearish and closes below this low, that will be a sell setup. Okay, that will be a sell setup. Let's see what we have on 1 hour time frame. So see what we have on 1 hour time frame. Okay, so it's been in a range for some time. It's been in a range. But if a candle closes below this level, that would be a sell for USD card. That would be a sell. If a candle, 1 hour candle closes below this zone, that would be a sell for me. That would be a sell for me. USD CHF. Let's start with the daily time frame. Yesterday candle closed as an hanging man. You can see that yesterday candle closed as an hanging man. Okay, price tested this previous resistance level, as you can see, and the candle that formed is an hanging man. Okay, let's go down to 4 hour. What do we have on 4 hour? So after the close of yesterday candle, this was the last candle on 4 hour time frame. A spinning top. So I think the bullish move we've seen so far in the market today is to clear the liquidity residing at this previous high. The liquidity residing at this previous high that they have achieved. Okay, so let's go down to 1 hour after the formation of this pattern on 4 hour time frame. What pattern do we have on 1 hour? So you can see what we have on 1 hour. So if a 1 hour candle, I want to see 1 hour candle close below the low of this candle before going bearish. 1 hour candle, if you're considering selling USD CHF, wait for 1 hour candle to close below the low of this candle before you go bearish on USD CHF. I hope that is clear. That is my take on USD CHF. If you want to sell USD CHF, wait for price to close below this level. This setup will be invalidated if a candle closes above this resistance. If 1 hour candle closes above this resistance, then we should expect more bullish move. Okay, we should expect more bullish move. But if 1 hour closes below this low, that will be the right time to sell USD CHF. That will be the right time to sell USD CHF. Any question? Any question? I want to believe you all know how to get your lot size. I want to believe you all know how to get the lot size, the appropriate lot size to apply on every trade. This is the formula. Capital risk. You have to determine the risk you're willing to take on every trade you execute, and that is the capital risk. Then you have the market risk. Okay, the market risk is the difference between your entry and your stop loss. That is the market risk on that trade. Market risk the difference between your entry price, which is EP, minus stop loss price. That is your end. That is your that is your that is the market risk. Okay, so you get the market risk, get the capital risk. You must know this before you execute the trade. If you don't do this calculation before executing the trade, you are gambling in the market. You are gambling and you just keep losing money in the market. You must know the lot size. You can't just open a trade and just apply any lot size on that trade. That is gambling. That is gambling. Okay. If you don't know the risk involved, don't execute the trade. You will be gambling if you do that. Don't execute the trade. You must know the lot size. Okay, it's very important. Let's see what's happening on DXY. What's happening on DXY? Let's see what's happening on DXY. We need to know the strength of the dollar before we go bullish on GU, EU, AU, NU. Let's see what's happening on dollar index. Okay. So on daily time frame, you can see yesterday was strongly bullish on DXY. So strongly bullish on DXY. You can see that. So strongly bullish on DXY. As you can see what we had today. Okay. So today's candle is likely going to close bearish. It's likely going to close bearish. But we only confirm that at the close of the market, right? We only confirm. We can't just conclude that it will be bearish. Okay. That's just my assumption. Okay, it's likely going to close bearish, but let's go down to 4 hour. Since we don't want to wait for today's candle to close before taking a trade, we want to take a trade, so we'll be working with the 4 hour time frame to know the trend on 4 hour time frame. Okay, so if the current 4 hour candle closes bearish, you can see this will be a shooting star if it closes bearish. If this candle closes bearish, that will be a sell setup. Okay, that will be a sell setup. If you go back here, I think we had a fair value gap here. Okay, I think we had a fair value gap here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we had a fair value gap here, and I think that gap has been filled. Can you see that on DXY? This gap has been filled. You can see this gap has been filled, and after filling this gap, this is a bearish reversal pattern. Like I told you guys, there's a high probability that DXY would want to come fill this fair value gap. This sell side is it okay? Buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, CB or BC, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. That is BC. That is BC. Then you have sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. That is CB. BC and CB. BC and CB. CB. Okay. No, 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 no. 30 pip is not too tight. It's not too tight. We are not expecting much volatility in today's market. That is for currency pair. Okay. For currency pair, I'm not talking about gold. Don't use 30 pips on gold. If you are trading gold, your SS should be between 70 and 100 pips. Okay. But for currency pairs, since there are no major news today, okay, since there are no major news today, we are not expecting much volatility today. So 30 pips is okay for currency pairs. Okay. 30 pips on currency pair is okay. If you're trading the London session and the New York session, 30 pip is okay. 30 pip is okay. Okay. 30 pip is okay. Think about it, guys. Let's just reason together. If your risk on a trade is, I'm using currency pairs as example. If your risk on a trade is 60 pips, why not split this 60 pips into two? Okay, split it into two. So that if your first trade, 30 pips, does not work out, you still have 30 pips. So let's say for the day you have this 60 pips, okay? You can, on your first trade, you can take 30 pip risk. If that doesn't work out, there's a high probability the second one might work out. Okay? That's the way I think. Instead of taking 60 pip, let me take 30 pip first. If that doesn't work out, then I can risk the remaining 30 pips. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Instead of holding a trade, using 100 pips, holding a trade for days or for weeks, why not just use 30 pips? Let the market hit your stop loss and you reevaluate, you re-strategize, okay? You re-strategize. GU, nice one, nice one. GU is playing out. GJ also is playing out. GJ also is playing out. We need to wait for confirmation. Wow, EU. 13 more minutes to go. 13 more minutes to go. If EU closes above this level, that is a buy setup. That is a buy setup. Okay, about 30 pip risk. Okay, nice one on EU. Nice move on EU. Okay, Euro Australian dollar is still bearish. Still bearish. Still bearish. Which other instruments, which other pair do you want us to look at? Okay, let's just look at Euro GBP to know the strength of Euro against GBP. Let's just use this to know the strength. Okay, if Euro GBP is bullish, it means Euro is stronger than Great Britain pounds. Okay, if Euro GBP is bullish, it means Euro is stronger than GBP. If Euro GBP is bearish, it means Great Britain pounds is stronger than Euro. So if you are considering buying Euro USD and GBP USD and Euro GBP is bearish, it means GBP USD will move faster than Euro USD. I hope you get that. If Euro GBP is bearish and your bias on Euro USD and GBP USD is bullish, GBP USD will move faster than Euro USD. And if Euro GBP is bullish, Euro USD would move faster than GBP USD. Okay, so as you can see here, the previous, let's start with 4 hour. Let's start with 4 hour. Okay, so you can see what we have on 4 hour time frame. Okay, this candle was used to clear liquidity residing at this previous low. It was used to clear liquidity residing at this previous low. Okay, and also was used to fill this fair value gap that was created here. Can you see that? It was used to fill this fair value gap that was created here. You can see it was used to fill this fair value gap that was created here. And you can see the pattern that formed after the gap got filled. The previous 4 hour candle is a bullish reversal pattern. It's a bullish reversal pattern. Let's go to 1 hour. On 1 hour, what do we have on 1 hour? So this is what we have on 1 hour. So if the current 1 hour candle closes above the high of this hammer candle that formed on 1 hour, that will be a buy for Euro GBP. If 1 hour candle closes above the high, okay, that will be a bullish pattern on Euro GBP. So we'd expect Euro USD to move faster. We expect Euro USD to be faster if 1 hour candle closes above the high of the hammer candle that formed on 1 hour time frame. 10 more minutes to go to decide buying EU. Okay. Flawless execution. Flawless execution. Once it closes above it, 1 hour closes above it, flawless. Flawless execution. Flawless execution. Nice one, nice one. Nice one, nice one, nice one. You can see 1 hour. This is hammer. This is hammer. Okay. He's still playing around the high of this candle. He's still playing. Still playing around. Okay. Wait for confirmation. Don't just jump in. Don't be driven by your emotions. Okay. Let your trading plan do the work. What you have written down, let it do the work. Don't be driven by emotions. Okay. Any question? Any question? Any question? Raphael, what do you want me to remind you guys? What do you want me to remind you, Raphael? Raphael, what does he want me to remind you? Any question? Any question? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section. If you have any question, let me know. Let me know. So the first target for GU will be this fair value gap. The first target for GU will be this fair value gap. Okay? It will be that fair value gap. You can also see, let me just show you guys moving average. You can see a moving average on 5 minutes. Can you see the moving average on 5 minutes? Price is trading above the moving average on 5 minutes. 200 moving average. The market is trading above it. That's also that the trend is bullish. Okay, let's see 15 minutes. Okay, just tested 15 minutes fair moving average, which this 15 minutes moving average is acting as a resistance here. It's acting as a resistance here. So if price breaks out from that moving average, then you should expect more bullish move. If it breaks out from that, places above that moving average, for those who trade moving average, okay, this will be the target. You can see we have a fair value gap here. You can see we have a fair value gap here. So it's likely going to come and fail. We have one here also. Okay, we have a fair value gap here. We also have a fair value gap here. So it's likely going to come and break out or fill these fair value gaps. It's likely going to come fill this fair value gap. Any question, any question, any question? You have any question, let me know. Let me know in the comment section. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, please do subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come on live, you get notified by YouTube. If this is your first time, please do subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, okay? So that anytime I come on live, you get notified by YouTube. 6 more minutes to go. For GU, let me see EU. Okay. Any question? Any question? You have any question? Let me know in the comment section. Any question? Let me know in the comment section. I appreciate you all for your participation. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. I want to believe you're getting value from the live streams. Getting value from the live streams. Getting value for your time. I want to believe. The goal is to ensure that you achieve success in trading. It's the reason I show up every day. So that your trading business would make sense. And the only way it makes sense is when you're making profits. If you're not making profits, then your trading business doesn't make sense. Okay? It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense. 4 more minutes to go. 4 more minutes to go. All right, guys, that will be all for today's session. I wish you all a profitable trading day. Bye for now.